Okay, so that was fun. Oh, we're actually still in the cutscene, interestingly. It's handy. Let's just see if we can't get everything back up and running. There we go. We got chat back up. Let's see if we've got a few people. We got 5 people who've found their way to this new stream. It was, as it turns out, actually a DirectX error in the end that caused us that horrible situation. But it was more than that. It, like, not only did Final Fantasy crash, my actual Streamlabs crashed, and then, like, yeah, it was chaos. It's just apparently how it's gotta be. But we'll work our way through this again. Bugger me, I expect let's get to where we were. Hopefully we don't crash going through this again. That'll be the really unfortunate situation. The screen shake was too powerful. I like low-key suspect the screen shake, so I'll try and go through that portion a little bit quicker. But that said, I've crashed in like so many different things over the years. It's like it can be anything. It can be the water, it can be the screen shake, it can be some particle effects. I feel like the common denominator is my computer, which isn't great. Where were we? We were at a point where we found like this cat, so let's see if we can get back there without crashing. There's the cat. Oh, he's got a little cape on. I didn't even notice that the first time through. We were at the point where they were just about to run out without the treasure, so let's see if we can get there. It's nice that it at least brings you right back into the cutscene. I was kind of concerned I was going to just, like, not see it. But what about the loot? You can't spend it when you're dead. We either follow the furball or make friends with the spell-slinging Voidborn. Your choice. Gods damn it. How is an honest sky pirate meant to make a living? Oh, he opened it, eh? That's not good. Alright, I think this is further than we made it last time. Maybe this is right where we made it to last time? We were close. Wow, we were so close to the end. Devastating. Oh, this wind effect's really cool. Look at this cat! He's just on my little plane. I love it. Is this... Yeah, this is it from afar. What is this? The ship's breaking up. Is he trying to bring her down? Oh, that doesn't look good at all. Oh my god. The Void Scent is attempting to initiate a dimensional displacement, but the gate, it cannot possibly be large enough for that entire ship. What's a dimensional displacement? Oh, and there's the guy. How does the cat work its way into all this? Oh, what's that? Gasp. The Queen's coffin. He takes it beyond our reach. So this is the cat speaking to us, I assume. Well, there don't seem much point hanging around here. Let's get back to solid ground. All right. Wow, look at everybody here. Everyone's still chilling. Well, thank you for not leaving. Let's check on chat. Jamie says we were up to taking our chances with the spells. Yeah. And then Spence says we'll just get a big enough stream going. Then you can upgrade your computer, easy peasy. Would be good. Would be. I mean, it's such an unfortunate thing because like 99% of the time it runs well, but certainly there's a point that pushes it to the limit when streaming. It's usually during cutscenes. It's usually during Final Fantasy. But it's really the graphics card. Like, I don't know. I went AMD and I have some regrets. We'll just get a big enough stream. Okay. And to be fair, it runs really well sometimes too. It's just, it's a little buggy. Or make some friends. Such devastation. That's the Void Ark that we were just fighting on. Okay, the big ship. That makes sense. All right, I guess we may as well turn this in. I did say, like, because it's 11:06 right now? Yeah, we might have time to do, like, an MSQ quest or something. Have you tried regular OBS instead? I haven't. Do you find that one? Usually Streamlabs doesn't crash on me. That was actually a pretty rare thing that happened this time, like the actual application, but maybe OBS will make it, like, lighter weight for my computer or something. 'Twas bit touch and go in places, I grant you, but here we are all, and with our bits still attached. This calls for a foeman flagon of... Hold on, ain't we missing someone? Didn't I tell Ulta to wait for us here? Never fear, we've been keeping the girl company. Oh, these dudes. But enough about her. Did you see the cannon on that ship? As you know, my dear Leofard, I'm not easily moved, but the sheer power of on display set me all a-quiver. Well, I hope you're content to admire it from afar. That vessel ain't for the likes of you and me. Do not presume to measure me by your own limitations. Besides, I believe I've shown how resourceful I can be. Which brings me to the neatly to the point. You have in your possession a device capable of tracking the ghost ship. Hand it over, or your engineer shall suffer the consequences. I mean, there's like a lot of us for them to be scared, but... Northern says OBS is what I use this stream. It's more stable. It's fair. I use it for recording too, so like I have OBS set up. Perfect. A compass pointing the way to my just reward. A weapon like that belongs in the hands of one with the will to use it. Come, lads, our business here is concluded. I'm sorry, Captain. They caught me off guard. You bet a bang on the head, or you get a bang on the head or something? The man I know would never give in to scum like her without a fight unless... Wait, you trick her? What did you do to the compass? Who, me? Not. Besides slipping a link pearl into its casing, like ha ha ha. So long as Radilia keeps it close, and you can be damn sure she will know exactly what them thieving bastards are planning. Anyone care to wager how long it'll take her to notice me little gift? That's very clever and all, but how were you proposing to stop her from getting her hands on that derelict and its great big cannon? I mean, I don't know how she's going to take over the big ship. Mono says, hi there, Tiny. Happy to catch you. Happy to have you here, Mono. Welcome. Mono Void, your name's very apropos of the Void Ark. I ain't worked that part out yet, but I suspect it'll start with us keeping a close eye on the Talons. Before we get into any of that, though, I've got some questions that need answering. Man, his words are on close to the level of what's his face? The fancy words. It's just pirate speak, I guess. Curious Cat, we've got a name for you now. You wish to know more about the Void Ark, the ghost ship, as you call it. The Void Ark. So that's its proper name. I'd like to hear whatever you'd care to tell us, Puss. And I, for my part, am curious to hear the stories. We continue, however, I must insist that you address me by my proper name, Kate Sith. I will not respond to Puss or Cat, and most decidedly not Furball. Good timing for... I mean, we're just about done with the Void Ark, so... Like, yeah, it was really good time. He just came in right at the right time. Though, who knows how long these cutscenes will go for. We're unpacking a lot that just happened here. This cat has got such weird proportions to it. My tale begins long, long ago in the city of Macaw, which once stood in the lands of Yatham. The sorceresses of Macaw were masters of destructive magic, and they brought that terrible power to bear against Amdapor and Nim in the War of the Magi. The titanic forces they unleashed, however, took a heavy toll upon the land, ultimately resulting in a colossal flood that drowned the realm of Eorzea, and a catastrophe which my master, High Void Mage Cesar, I wonder if this is another cat, was wise enough to foresee. I feel like no, but who knows. Wait, colossal flood, are you talking about the Sixth Umbral Calamity? I suppose you would know it as such. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. When they learned of the fate that awaited them, the Makai Magi began construction of a gargantuan vessel that would bear their people to the skies in safety. The operation of the Void Ark, as the ship came to be called, was entrusted to Cesar. Prior to that, of course, my master had been a prisoner in her own home, confined for her outspoken opposition to the war. Oh, that's interesting. Yurku says, no one ever gets this right because it's spelled funny, but Kaith Sith is Irish and is actually pronounced Ketshi. I was never going to get Ketshi. All right. I know Ketshi is from one of the other Final Fantasy games, like 8 or 10 or something. Oh, wow, I was so wrong. So Ketshi. All right. Yeah, there's no chance. I mean, I'm pretty bad at pronunciation anyways, but there was no chance. So the Ark was meant as a sanctuary then. Then how did it come to be so, I mean, what happened to all the people? And where did all the void scent come from? By what power do you imagine such a massive craft remains aloft? The energy required to raise the Void Ark was siphoned from over 1,000 otherworldly servants sealed within the vessel. Advances in Makai sorcery were made for one reason and one reason only: cataclysmic destructive power. And the swiftest and most dangerous method of acquiring that power was through the enslavement of void-sent entities. So the creatures on the derelict, they broke free from your master's control. That seems like a very risky way to power your ship, but okay. At the very heart of the Ark, the Void Mage had entombed a great ruler of the Voidsent, Scratcheth, the Queen, the Shadow Queen. But in order to control the so potent a prisoner, a mage of adamant will was required, and being Macax, oh my god, preeminent sorcerer, Caesar was deemed best qualified, where otherwise my master might never have been released from her own imprisonment. Yet even with Caesar's peerless skill, the Shadow Queen could not be long subjugated. One after another, the lesser Voidsent awoke and ran rampant within the ship. In the end, Caesar and 53 Void Mages aboard the Ark sacrificed their own life energies to return the fiends to their coffins, leaving me, a lowly familiar, to watch over the derelict prison. If I remember me Umbral eras right, the stuff you just described happened more than 1,500 years past, which is a good while by anyone's measure, and since everything seems to have been quite on board your boat till just recently, I'm thinking something somewhat unusual must have happened to wake the inmates up. Am I warm? I'm gonna guess it was us. One day, a Voidsent that had taken the shape of a bat flew into the ship. At first, it was little more than a nuisance that I brushed away, but the longer it remained on the Void Ark, the stronger it seemed to become. Eventually, I could not contend with its power, and it began shattering seal after seal. Oh, so maybe it wasn't us. I guess we kind of came to it because it woke up, so I don't know. I like to blame us for things. We might be the reason things escalated from that point. But you looked upon the true form of this fiend as he broke the chains holding the queen's coffin. I can only assume that he is one of Sakath's subjects intent on bringing about her return. Well, that explains that then, except one small detail, namely where the queen's coffin went after it fell out of the ship's belly. I assume it didn't just disappear, right? You recall the great rift that the Ark's cannon ripped through the sky? That was a void gate. Such a potential opens a temporary path through the void, allowing the ship to travel almost instantaneously from one location to another. The Voidsent, as you saw, only opened a gate large enough to displace the coffin. As for the coffin's destination, however, that is as much a mystery to me as it is to you. I beseech you, conquerors of the Ark, help me find the queen's coffin ere the wards binding Skatach are dispelled. Story time with Sisa. It kind of is story time. I should have expected there to be a fairly large debrief. Smells to me like an adventure. Anyone, and who knows what ancient Makai treasure we might stumble upon along the way. Gods know they'll make a nice change from all the elegant tombstones we've been collecting. Aye, well, will help you. I'm not risking me hide for the sake of the realm, you understand, but if be damned, I'll let either But I'll be damned if I let Redelia or Bat-Winged Bastard take the freedom of the skies from me. You care only for how you might be inconvenienced? If the Shadow Queen were to return, it would have dire consequences for this entire star. Count your blessings for a ball. I said we'd help, didn't I? For we must, before we go rushing off in search of that coffin, though there's preparations to be made, you might as well get back to your usual heroic employment, Seesaw. I'll let you know when it's time to round up your mates again. It's a pretty cool story for the Alliance raid, honestly. Like, I was not expecting it to go where it went. The time is nigh, my dear Talons. Soon we shall seize control of the ghost ship and its power, and rule the skies from here to the end of the world. Oh, there's a lot more of them than I originally suspected. The rule to rule the skies. Nice. Playing bills. All right, we are back here, slightly at a different place. What time? Yeah, it's 11:20. Eh, we got like 10 minutes. I'm gonna guess this is the next quest to unlock things. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna like go through the quest, and I'll have to just change the thumbnail and the title for this VOD because I don't think we'll do any MSQ because we may as well just keep it very focused for the video. A weeping city. Seesaw, I was just about to fly out to Ishgard and track you down. You remember, oh god, Kate Seath? Right? I think Kate Seath is what we were calling it? That Mackay familiar? We've been working with him on a plan to find Diablos and the Queen's coffin. There have been Void Scent sightings from pirates all over, so we know the bat-winged bugger is hiding someplace in the sky. We just don't know how exactly where. Ket Shi. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Iriku. It's going to be a while. Ket Shi. Like cat as in cat, cat. And then she, I don't know, Ketchi. As for going about pinpointing the location, Leofard and the feline are bickering over just exactly how. That's where you come in. If you've got a spare moment or two, we could use a third opinion to break the stalemate. Besides all that, Leofard's eager to have another hand to help in the search. So come over to the Parrock as soon as you're able. You know the way from here, don't you? I'm going to assume it's this little sign. Oh no, I'm used to people mispronouncing it. No one gets it right. Zirka says, yep, this quest should unlock the second part. Alright, let's see if we can hop in there for 8 minutes and go through some story. Oh, it teleports you right in, and I was expecting to fly in or something. It's a pretty cool place to just come and hang out. I feel like the stream has kind of been all over the place, but I kind of knew it was going to be a small amount of chaos. Thanks for coming. The captain and the cat are inside, still having their discussion. Talk to Leofard, will you, before I strangle the both of them? Terminus says, even though I know the correct pronunciation, I always forget it. One of the tougher names to remember. Lol, isn't it Celtic? Yeah, that's... I don't know, like it. Some of these names are just wild. Look at his bed. It's got quite the room. Look at his tail when he argues. If you're here to ask about the Queen's coffin, then you'd best turn around and walk straight out. This aggravating furballs turned my mood sour as month-old alcoholic milk. Leofard Seesaw's come all this way to help us, at your request, I might add. He deserves to hear where we stand on the search, at least. The search is giving me ulcers. Is what it is? By all reports, Diablos is lurking somewhere in the heavens, building up his forces, but the sky is a vast dome, and dome as high as the oceans is deep, and we've not the pirates to scour every damn floating rock. That's when I tried my luck with Radilia. You remember her, don't you? Captain of the Talons, blonde hair, one eye, stole our bloody compass. Well, I've been eavesdropping with her, that link pearl I slipped into the casing, hoping to catch something useful, but all I've heard from her and her sorry crew is snoring, grumbling, and jeeps about the Archbishop's holy nethers. In the end, it seems we've no choice but to do this the hard way, but a certain mewling annoyance refuses to acknowledge the truth of it. Jasandi says, I got this minion from pre-ordering a Realm Reborn. Spence says, its origin is really cool. Cool lore, just hard to... It's something that I don't think I would ever stumble upon. What they need is like a voiced cutscene to say it right once, and at least then I kind of would know. You cannot possibly hope to investigate the entire sky with this meager handful of near-dwellers. I find myself suggesting to seek aid from your fellow pirate gangs, a perfectly reasonable one under the circumstances. Ah, stow it, you mangly alley cat. You've not the faintest idea of how the Sky Pirates operate. Best case scenario, we'd be locked into a deal to hand over any treasure we find, and that's assuming we weren't laughed out of the room to begin with. You cannot assume that every man and woman shares your base morality. If we but made the attempt, I'm sure we could convince some few of the nobility of our cause. And so it goes round and round. Knowing pirates as I do, I find myself siding with the captain on this. But what of you, Seesaw? Any thoughts on the matter? Handle it ourselves, seek it. Let's seek aid. What? You're siding with a furball? I would have thought you'd learned a thing or two about the Sky Pirates by now. I mean, the furball seems very knowing of like how the universe works. However we tackle things, though, we've a long road ahead of us. I'll see if I can't think up a better way to shorten it. You might as well head back on your adventure, Seesaw, unless you're willing to lend us your experience in another matter, that is. Utata, our chief engineer, has been muddling about the Void Ark and cursing under her breath for days. Might be as you can provide some insight into her dilemma. She is conducting her search in the Sea of Clouds, yes? Well, I would rather discuss the properties of the Void Ark than continue with this fruitless debate. I shall see you down there, Seesaw. I love the cat's little steps are just so cute. Alrighty, I think this is likely where we're gonna wrap things up. Let me go and hop out of here, because this will make this whole, I guess, recording, like the 2 recordings, because of the stupid way things went down. How do I to get down there somehow. Oh, over here. I was like, how do I get down there? They'll be both about the Void Ark, so I'll just rename this VOD, and that way it should be somewhat intuitive. I feel like the streams where I like DC are probably the funniest things to rewatch, because people are just watching a stream, enjoying it, then all of a sudden chaos happens at the end of it, and it like, I don't even know if it like glitches out or what it looks like on the stream end, but I don't know. Let's return to the Sea of Clouds. And look at, there's so many people still here. Look, you guys are so wonderful. Well, I want to thank everyone again. And let's see if I can slash things. I cannot. Let's slash hug the air. But thank you so much to everyone who came and dealt with the startup, which I know was a really slow process of figuring out how we were going to queue in. And then dealt with the stream crashing, and then came back to the second stream. You guys are awesome. Terminus says, one of the hardest parts of the name for me is there's an English pronunciation of the words. I've seen, it's kind of the thing, isn't it? I've seen Kate be short for Caitlin, with most people know the Sith from Star Wars. Yeah. Irko says there's a ton of Irish and Scottish, or Scots Gaelic names in this raid series. It's very interesting that they get like inspired by things. Also, Irko, your like knowledge of the game is like beyond just someone who know, like, I don't know how you know all that you do about this game, but it has been a huge asset having you and members like you that like know so much. But thank you so much. Welcome again to the Tiny Blue Crew, Jasandi. It was great to have you here. And great to have everyone else who was able to join for this. It's so fun doing things with viewers, and I know I don't do it very much, and I don't even stream that much to begin with, so it's great when we can pull this together. But hopefully all of you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll try and make some posts when we do the next Alliance raid. I don't know if I'll do them like back to back to back. I might go back to a Heavensward, or not a Heavensward, a ShadowBringers stream, and then like kind of jump between them just to kind of keep things fresh between the streams. But we'll see. It'll be really if I like get called to this story or the ShadowBringers story, because they're both pretty compelling at this point. But thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next stream. Thank you.